was intentional as well, right? So you go that high, then the jury's like, oh my god,
Yeah,
this is
voluntary
ridiculous.
manslaughter. Yeah, that's what I would
It,
say. Yeah.
yeah, I would start with involuntary manslaughter and then try to do like maybe even simple assault or attempted murder, and then like because he said
Hmm.
more people talk. I didn't see the video. I've been trying to find the video for the longest time. So he said multiple people held him down, right? That's what he
Yeah, he
said.
was. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did overdo it.
So my
And
only here's my only thing that I find a little, I'm not gonna say problematic, that's a bad word to use, but I find a little concerning for me is that I don't, you're right, you said you don't feel as though he should done it, right? But when we start characterizing people, these guys like, oh man, he didn't know any better, he was just silly, he was just stupid. Like, I hear that a lot when it comes to these guys, I heard it during the Zimmerman case, I heard this during a lot of these other cases where you have, uh, these white guys, these guys coming out and doing these to these people. And what it does is it gives fuel to the people on the other side who really defend them no matter what, even if they're wrong. It gives them fuel and the sound clip and use what you're saying as fuel to go, yeah, see, they care about it too as well. Because I don't think you mean it, but like, yeah, this guy's this is a saint. You don't know the guy, right? We don't know this guy. We don't know from what the video is, so we don't know what his
yes.
intention, his mindset is. But
Yeah.
when we say those things, like, hey, he was, I think he was just silly, and I think he meant well, and like, you can't that it gives little icky vibes because what happens is people some of the lunatic MAGA people go, look, see, guys, see, and that's the kind of defense they do with a lot of these people. And it's only, and I'm gonna say, it's always when it's a different race. Right? It's never like I never hear this when when a black guy's on here defending his house or he's in trouble. Now I'll never nobody say, well, his intention harm is how well he is. It's always when it's like a blonde haired, blue eyed college kid or
It's because
he
it
comes,
doesn't
oh
make the
man,
news when a black man
Yeah.
kills a
No.
black man.
No,
That's
no.
just
This
what
is
it
the,
is.
by the
no,
way. This is
nobody
my.
said.
This is my humble. This is
Nobody
my
said.
fucking. Yeah. This is my like. I guess. What do you call like? I guess stupid newbie understanding of what law is, right? Like I'm not trying. I'm not saying like what my understanding is what should be done because I think the case is changed. I need to look it up again. It's not even. He's not even being charged anymore with manslaughter. I think it's actually homicide um, or something to that degree. Um, I just think, in my stupid newbie opinion, that he should be charged with, I guess, voluntary manslaughter, like as it goes with like California's law. That doesn't mean that that's the actual case of what happened, right? Um, I don't know, like, cause I did watch the whole video. Like that shit was, it was heart wrenching to watch as well. Like it was stupid, but I don't think he intentionally meant to do. That's why I would categorize it that way. But anyway, I keep my bad
I
for
don't know.
cutting you off, Ape. And his yeah.
Are you good? I don't know what you know about Marine training, but it's not easy, right? And I think what I don't want what's kind of happening right now is a little disrespect to how good the training program Marines are, right? They train like it's not easy to get into the Marines, right? Like my dad was a Marine, right? It's not easy, and they do it's a lot of training, and they dumb boys train very hard, and it's not just physical training, right? There's mental training too as well. There's mental fortitude. You got to go to it. And so to be like, oh well, he was accepted into the Marines. He was a Marine his whole time, ex-Marine, but he was kind of silly. That kind of like
Hmm.
just not intentionally, but that kind of like it kind of like throws a shot at the whole Marine Corps as a whole, right? Because now you're saying that our training, that one of the hardest programs to get into, doesn't not letting anybody in who can do silly things on the train, and I don't think that's the case, right? I do think he was trying to. Do I think he was trying to help or do something? Yes. Do I do think his anger got into it? I do. I feel as though he was mad. He was upset, and I do feel as though he definitely 6 minutes is too long, man. I don't know if you ever choked anybody before, but
Yeah,
after a
but
minute,
and
you're
and
like,
it-
All
I'm
right, so
done.
isn't it the
I'll say one
case?
thing. I'll say one
Yeah,
thing
go
why I
ahead.
have my opinion real quick. In 10 seconds, I've what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm so damn old I keep forgetting words. I've actually held people in positions where they could not do harm to others many times. many times, and I'm not a professional. I have no training whatsoever, and none of them ever died. So that's what I would be curious about, because I mean numbers say a lot. So I'm curious how many people who've actually been held in similar situations, security guards who do this on a daily basis, actual people who are professionals, how many times have they actually killed a person? Because I mean, that's what one of the things that would kind of lead me to the opinion that either it wasn't necessarily his intent at the time, but he was well aware of what's happening. I mean, and I know that's not much, but I'm just saying it's like it's not very easy to choke someone to death. It's just not.
More
That's
important,
fair.
what message are you sending to society at large? I mean, at the end of the day, actions have consequences, and I agree with Ryan. You can incapacitate someone without killing them, right? And any person would have known since the debacle of George Floyd, because let's remind ourselves, he died for passing a fake $20 bill. That those kinds
Yeah,
of
from fentanyl.
chokeholds are illegal. And if you choose to do that, I'm not saying you go to jail for murder, but at the very, very, very least, involuntary manslaughter. You have to send a message to society. You can't be doing this. That's why you have the cops. You see what? For the cops. Now look at him.
No,
He's ruined his
I
life,
agree.
and he's going to have to live with the thought that he's taken another human being's life. I mean, it's a lose-lose. Everybody lost.
I think the family should
I would
sue
even
the
say
city of
voluntary
New York.
manslaughter, not even involuntary manslaughter.
Was the
But
guy
you know,
threatening to kill people? The videos I'm finding, I can't really hear it.
They
Is that
say that's what they play.
They say that he said
that's
yes.
a big to me. That's a big difference. Like, you working security, a guy's rowdy, versus like a dude saying he's gonna kill you, he's gonna kill people. Like, I don't know what the right amount of time. Like, someone saying they're gonna kill someone, I'm not like thinking in my head, well, let's hold him down and then, let him be unconscious for a little bit, let him wake back up, maybe he'll feel different. I don't know. I just don't know why the burden. If someone's saying they're going to kill you, why is the burden on you to protect their life?
no,
Listen, I mean,
but that's
if
the
you've
thing though,
ever worked
Ace.
in security, I'll
I
just say,
haven't seen
I
the
mean,
video, to be
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm
fair.
just
So
saying, if you ever worked in security, you get death threats on a daily basis. I don't know. I do not know.
No,
Saying
he could have
someone
been
saying,
like
wait, let me
I'm
just land with this. Let me just land with this. Saying someone saying threatening your life doesn't give you a justification to do what he did. I mean, it doesn't. It's like they have to actually
see,
commit. They actually have to commit to some action or move against you. Usually, just saying it, I don't think is actually grounds for action. I mean, that's my uneducated opinion. But I mean, I've seen many examples of similar situations where it didn't end in that result.
well, I mean,
And to
the
be
self def.
fair, let me bring up something. To be fair, somebody brought up the fact that his martial arts instructor, when he was in the Marines, testified that they teach, which is correct. They do teach combatives, and they do teach you chokes. But he was a green belt. He didn't go past green belt. Number one. Number two, we don't know like where his mindset was during this situation, this whole debacle. So I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you though. I agree with whoever said he does need to. He does have to serve something. Like so he has to be prosecuted for something. Just I don't believe 20 years is justifiable for that.
there's
And
just
then
no
I've seen
mhm.
somebody put in combatives. I've seen where soldiers have had level one and level two, and they still aren't able to apply those tactics properly. And that's just in theater.
Yes. Yeah, there's just no sufficient evidence for like attempted murder or homicide. That's all I'm saying personally. Like there's no sufficient evidence for that. Now, of course, okay, go ahead, Ez. Yeah, of course you can charge for like manslaughter for sure, but like I just don't think there's enough even based on the video evidence that I've seen for homicide like murder or intentional like murder, I just don't see enough evidence for that.
What the problem is, he's gonna get his day in court for doing what he did. What about the dead guy? What's he gonna get?
Yeah, I understand I understand that. Like I understand. I'm just talking about what the law says, and based on what happened, right? That's all I'm basing my opinion off, right? Is the law and what actually happened. I would just say it had to be some kind of like form of manslaughter.
I think the
And whether
family.
you agree with it or not, that's a whole other discussion. But that's just how I see it.
Agreeing
I mean,
with you.
I,
It's
I think
about
I think
getting
I think
No,
what
not with
surprised
me.
me
Not with
about
me.
the
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for cutting you
I
off.
think what surprised me about the initial discussion was the lack of empathy. I mean, I can't hear this or you read it without feeling sad. I mean, that's all I feel related to it. Just sad that this guy lost his life, sad for the way that he was killed. And I mean, so I'm kind of curious for the people who are following the case. I mean, or on the other side, what is it that, you know, do you not getting emotion regarding it, or what is the emotion that you have in related to this? Because I mean, for me, it's just extremely sad.
Exactly, man. I think the family should sue. No, you know what help will help this situation not happen again. The family should sue the city of New York and sue the train and sue Martyr for you because there was no security there, right? There's no cops there to stop them from doing this. So and there was no security on the train. So I think the family should sue the city of New York and also sue the train. I think it's Martyr, right? Martyr's New York train station. Yeah, sue Martyr as
MTA.
well.
MTA. Marta, I think, is Georgia.
Yeah,
Jordan
Marty's Georgia.
Neely's
It's MTA,
Jordan
the
Neely's mom
IRT.
was stabbed to death when he was a kid. He was in the foster system. He was estranged from his family for 10 years because he was living on the street and drug addicted. But the father is suing Daniel Penny. So there's
He,
that.
he should sue New York too as well and MTA.
I agree.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Oh,
Of
why
course
do you
you do.
disagree with them suing the city?
it's not the city's fault. You know, when you go onto public transport,
You care
the right
about your
of
son
admission,
Sandwich. It's
the right of
bullshit.
admission is reserved.
Oh yeah,
Didn't
no,
care
that
about
was
your
a dumb
son, which was a
question. No,
lie. Why you care about him now?
you're correct. No, you're correct. That was my fault. No, you're absolutely correct.
No, hold
Yeah.
up, time out,
What
pause,
happened?
pause,
No,
real
no,
quick.
no, no, 'cause- no. What transpired was not the city's fault. That was not necessarily the city's fault. I don't think at all. Like what transpired was something that I don't think that the city could actually address. Um,
Look at it.
no,
Look at it
that is
happened in
correct.
front.
That is. I have to correct myself. That is correct.
Yes, because my point is, had it happened in front of law enforcement officials from from the transit system, yes, then they would be liable. But they weren't there.
Yeah,
That's why they,
no, that was something completely separate from like civilians, I think. Um,
that's why they're liable though. They wasn't there. They should have more people. They can have a cop in every car. Why not? They have enough. They have
no,
enough. They
I
have
don't
enough.
think
Yeah.
that's. I don't think
I
that's
think
no.
why? Let's
Would
protect the
you?
citizens,
Okay,
You
right?
can't.
let's say
As
that's the
You can't
case.
expect every like every city for every like liable possible situation for every like possible potential civilian action, right? So now you're asking for potentially for a civilian to be there in every like Dollar Tree if someone's gonna like shoot someone in the face or every like little potential situation in like some fast food place or whatever. You and I know that's not possible, right?
have
So
you ever been?
that's not the city's responsibility
Have you been to a?
necessarily in that instance, huh?
Have you been to a Dollar Tree in an urban and high crime area lately?
Yes, I have. Yeah, that's
Okay,
why I brought that situation up.
the security cars are there, right? But listen, so listen, as we all know this, right? Because you're going, it's rush hour, right? That
Hmm.
MTA knows that this in New York. It's not like they're naive and don't know that things happen on the New York subways, right? And it's not that hard. How many cars are on New York on every New York train? 20, right? And how much money does the
Yes,
city give to MTA? The city gives to MTA for commuter transit. You telling me, right? As a consumer and a
yes,
commuter, my safety isn't guaranteed, right? I shouldn't ask them to have my safety in mind. And putting one security guard per train is such a high ask to try to safety. No, to the point where now we got to have vigilantes on the train doing it. That's kind of a little too much. SEPTA can do it, right?
yes.
SEPTA, SEPTA, SEPTA,
That's all I'm saying. Yes.
Oh no, listen. SEPTA has a cop on when rush hour happens, when there's a lot of high traffic. There is a cop on every single train, and at some major stations, there is a cop station at one of each station as well. New York has way more, a way bigger budget, and MTA has a way bigger budget than SEPTA, and has a way bigger population and way bigger crime rate than Philadelphia. They can do that as well. I think it's a little no. As a paint, you can have security. Listen, that's like saying, you know what? Let's not have no security at airport. Why? They don't need to. Go on the plane, let anybody do whatever they want to do. As a commuter, my safety, yeah, I'm paying, right, for you to transport me safely from one place to another, right? I pay a
Mm-hmm.
lot of money. The city, my tax dollars go into helping these rails as well. To the point where you're running at a profit. They've run MTA's running at a profit. They'll always run at a. They can take no fares and still run at a profit. Of how much money they get from the government? You're telling me
Mm-hmm.
That's
they can't put a cop a cop in each train to make sure that the passengers are safe? We have to
No,
rely
that's
no, no, no,
actually
on
no. That's a
random.
fair.
uh,
So funding
No, that's a
source
fair
of
argument.
MTA,
Oh,
just
oh, go ahead.
FYI, funding source of MTA has always been an issue. It is actually dictated by the state of New York, not the local, not the local government. That's why they wanted to move to congestion um, pricing for cars coming in. That funding was supposed to directly go to MTA. So in actuality, in fairness, the New York City Metro is one of the worst funded. It's one of the best, but maintenance of it is one of the worst funded public transpos.
Maintenance
Do you
or funding in
do
general?
you
Because
think that maybe the transit should be more funded than given what you said is because what you said I don't necessarily even disagree with that for sure. And I don't understand like the full transit system of New York for sure, right? I'm from California, right? Like ideologically, I don't think it would like the money would be thrown like even if the money was thrown at it that much it would work, but that doesn't necessarily mean that wouldn't be the case, right?
I
So
mean,
like I'm
maintenance. I mean,
yeah.
anybody who's ridden the New York City subway. I mean, maintenance. I mean, the shit floods. Like there's
Mhm.
random floods all the fucking time. Um,
Mhm.
but and then I mean, New York City subway is a great system. One of the best systems in the country. It does deserve a maintenance and security um funding
Mhm.
to meet it because I mean the subway does make New York City go.
Okay. Okay.
There's another thing. If you want complete safety, right? I don't live in America, but I live in a big city in Europe. We also have a subway, right? So if you want complete safety, right, that is attainable, but that's going to come at the price of your bus, train, or tram ticket. Shit has to be paid for.
Or the
So
so,
or
you
just
try
general
to balance,
subsidization of it.
what what
Rick,
So
must I do and what is feasible. I've worked in public transport security. This is why I know it. So the question you ask yourself is, what do I have to do? And the other side is, what is possible? And from there, you make a judgment call.
the question I would
Yeah.
ask before that, James, is I mean, is there a serious security threat on the MTA?
Think so. I mean, what, do thousands of people die on the MTA every day? So, yeah, this is an unfortunate incident. Okay, a lot of incidents do take place. Unfortunately, when you have a lot of people, you have a lot of trouble. But I don't think that we should over exaggerate. Is it a tragedy? Absolutely, it's a tragedy. But let's not blow things out of proportion.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I didn't know there was a serious issue. So I mean, we're talking about a problem, a resolution, or a very expensive resolution to a problem that might not be significant. Because I mean, I lived in New York for like 5 years, used to take the train a lot, and I mean, I didn't feel like I mean at a threat. I mean, maybe at 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes, but you'd have like drunk women. I mean, on the train, and they I don't know if there were any incidents or anything like that. So I mean, I don't think that I mean in this case
That's crazy.
the
Ryan, you're
response.
lying. You know your virtue was at risk from those drunk women. Why are you lying like that?
Oh no, I had a nice coat. So I used to have people asking me to sleep on my shoulder all the time. It was weird.
Yeah, I would have never done that.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a serious question. I mean, though, is there a serious I mean, is there a significant amount of incidents of violence happening on New York trains? I mean, from my 5 years there, I've only remembered two incidents. And in